What's up, Tiger Nation? This is Coach O, and you're listening to Tuff Tiger Talk on the PRO Media Network. Take it away, Big Q.
Perfect.
You're now listening to Tuff Tiger Talk with Big Q and the guys on the Pro Media Network.
What's up, Tiger Nation? What's happening? What's going on? It's your boy, Big Q. You're now listening to Tuff Tiger Talk on the PRO Media Network, man. We running at you. Talking about LSU on this one, man. We got a full-packed show that we got to go over with you. LSU, we're going to recap that stupid garbage Texas A&M game. I'm sorry to do it to you, but you know we got to go over that in the season finale in terms of regular season before the bowl season come in. We also going to cover that as, of course, the Tigers go bowling. This time it's the Fiesta. We'll talk about who they landed in this matchup. We'll have other news going out about Greedy Williams as he's taking his appetite somewhere. We got also some recruit news to hit you with as do LSU have a quarterback to compete the rest of the hierarchy of quarterbacks. We got a new one here, and we took him from a Miami Hurricanes coach. He was a relative, so we'll give you that information. Delvin White is big time in the game, doing big things and being rewarded big things as he get ready for his NFL run. We'll talk about what he did. Also, the buyout with Les Miles. We'll give you information on that. And, of course, LSU's official recruit weekend ended as they're trying to unravel that 2019 class coming in. And, of course, a little information pertaining to Coach O's contract extension. AD Joe Olivia says, guess what? Not yet, because the season is still ongoing. Let me tell you something, man. You don't have to wait till the season over with to extend out your coach if you really believed in him. So is that a little clue in there? Talk to me, Tiger Nation. I want y'all to let me know what you think about Coach O, extension or not, because a lot of people kind of feel different about Coach O. How do you feel? Let's make that the question of the day for Tuff Tiger Talk, the first official Tuff Tiger Talk question of the day, which is, should Coach O get an extension? Should he get a multiple-year extension, provide him that security as he continues to try to build this LSU program to his image and likeness? So what do you think on that question? So without further ado, here on Tuff Tiger Talk, episode 283, let's roll right into it. LSU, of course, had this matchup, man, in the season finale against Texas A&M. And I said to myself, man, they should be able to defeat this team. The quarterback looks stupid. His shoulder pads don't fit right. I was saying, how could they let a quarterback that looked like he about to fall over, that basically got kicker shoulder pads on, beat him? It's just crazy to me. But they did. That's what really happened. In the end, the team just, in what was the longest college football game in history, I don't really give two you-know-whats about it because we're on the loser end of it. And you don't be put out in the history as a loser. Texas A&M going to go down as a winner, having the longest scoring game in college football history. They beat them 74-72. Just so upset in this game. So upset about this. 7 overtimes. LSU had to make one play to stop the defense. Couldn't come up. I understand these guys were tired. I understand in overtime they scored, just alone in overtime alone, they scored 43 points. Texas A&M versus LSU's 41. Couldn't get it done in the end. Joe Burrow, numbers on him, 25 of 38, 270 yards. He had 3 touchdowns in this game. Really, what happened in overtime made it look a lot better than what it actually was. He was the top rusher in the game. He put on a performance. We got to give it to old Joey Burrow. He had 29 carries for 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he threw 3 for 270 and he ran 3 for 100. Not bad. Justin Jefferson in the game, he had 5 catches for 63 yards and 1 touchdown as the top stats. Now, Mond from the A&M squad, 23 of 49, 287, 6 touchdowns through the air. Williams was their top back. He finished the game, 35 carries for 198 yards and 2 scores for Travion Williams. The top receiver was this guy. He'd look out for Courtney Davis. This dude was awesome. 7 catches, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns in the matchup. Going into some of the team statistics about what the hell happened to this team. The fact that the total yards went to Texas A&M as they finished 521 versus the Tigers 496. Passing yards 287 versus 281 in favor of A&M. Rushing yards 234 to 215 in favor of A&M. LSU did beat them with turnovers. With penalties. 10 penalties for 70 yards versus A&M. 3 penalties for 24 yards. So you go through 7 overtimes in 4 quarters, and all the referees were able to give them 3 penalties for 24 yards. Let's get on this garbage referee staff You had a attendance of over 101,000 people in that building to watch this game at Kelly Field. Let me just break it down like this before I get into the meat potatoes of everything else, because we got a short show in 20 minutes. The referees were absolutely pathetic and horrible in this game. I obviously think in my mind, and I pay attention to stuff like this, that they didn't want LSU in the talk because they were ranked 7 at the time. They didn't want them in the conversation. LSU would have had to have climbed, if they were to beat Texas A&M, they would have to have climbed into the top 6 because, of course, Ohio State flattened Michigan, which would have probably dropped Michigan down, raising LSU into the top 6. And you've seen all these weird, wacky calls. You've seen plays where the referees, and I can't go into all of them because there were so many. One of the really stupid ones was like when a wide receiver for Texas A&M caught the ball, took 2 steps, fumbled the ball, LSU recovered, they called it wasn't a fumble. They say, oh, that's not a fumble. And it's a series of plays that happened in this game which wasn't called. 2 false start penalties by Texas A&M offense wasn't called. When you start seeing stuff like that, when you start seeing the flags go for LSU, they threw 10 flags on LSU for 70 yards and only 3 flags against Texas A&M for 24 yards. It was totally horrible. Shame on these garbage-ass referees for what they did in this game. But obviously, some people at the top, the referees are brainless. They only do what they told. There's somebody at the top didn't want LSU in the conversation for the top 6 teams in the playoffs. For real. For real. This is how it is. Kelly Mine, knee in the ground situation. It was too many of them to even lay out in this stupid garbage bullshit game that happened between LSU and Texas A&M. Garbage and terrible. Anyway, to move past that really took LSU out of the conversation because, and let me tell you this, when the season started on Tough Tiger Talk, we were saying LSU, this team might not even win 7 or 8 games. You had a couple of people that listened to the show say, Q, what are you talking about? Our squad going to play for a national championship. We're going to be up there. Guess what? Them guys was right, man. I can say when I'm wrong because I really didn't see too much in LSU. I seen their line was garbage, makeshift. I didn't see who was the top running back. Brissett stepped up. He showed what he could do. And Joe Burrow came out of nowhere to be steady. So I got to give credit where credit due, man. You know what I'm saying? Even a wide receiver, I didn't think Jefferson was all that. But he had a pretty decent season when you break it all down. 50 catches. When the last time, any wide receiver from LSU to have 50 catches? That's pretty good for an LSU wide receiver. Outside of that, LSU loses. They're outside of the national championship talk, but they would have been in the playoff, I believe, if they would have beat Texas A&M. They did everything they can to stop them. Obviously, it worked in the end. Coach O took a Gatorade bath a little too early, and he took a bath in the drop rankings because they dropped LSU to 11th after the loss to the 22nd ranked Texas A&M Aggies. That set them up for the UFC game, which is the Fiesta Bowl. So they'll play the 8th ranked UCF Knights in the Fiesta Bowl. And that's something that we're going to be looking out. And a lot of people, LSU, to come away with this one in a close one, but you can't overlook a UCF. That's a pretty damn good team, man. So the Tigers going bowling on January the 1st of the new year. It'd be 65,000 people at the State Farm Stadium out there in Glendale, Arizona, to watch this matchup between the Tigers and UCF. 12-0 are the Knights. LSU coming in at 9-3. A lot of people still picking the Tigers to beat this team. I wouldn't not pick the Tigers, but I'm saying this is a pretty dangerous team. Now, of course, LSU had, in my opinion, one of the toughest schedules, if not the toughest schedule in all of college. And they were able to come through it quite masterfully. Big ups to the Tigers. Points per game coming into this one. LSU averaging right at about 32 points a game while giving up 21 a game. 389 yards total offense. 214 through the air. 175 on the ground. They allowed 346 yards total on defense, 207 of it through the air, 139 on the ground. Looking at the Central Florida Knights, they are averaging 44 points a game. That's damn good. They're stopping you at 21 points a game. Their total yards, 545 yards a game, 269 of that through the air, 76 and a half yards through the ground, so they can pass and run on your butt. But the defense is kind of suspect. They give up 424 yards a game. That's 196 through the air, and you can run on them at 228 yards on the ground. So LSU's strong suit is they do run the ball really well. UCF defense is weak against the run. So this will be an interesting matchup to see if one can beat the other. Top people for, of course, the Tigers. We're going to go over Joe Burrow's stats. His stats going into this bowl game: 198 of 345 for 2,500 yards, 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. UCF quarterback Mackenzie Milton, 171 for 289, 26 63 on the yards. He has 25 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Don't look past that guy. Nick Brissett, currently 211 carries, 922 yards, 14 rushing touchdowns for Nick Brissett. Needs about 78 yards to kind of get his 1,000 yards at LSU. He's going to get it. The USCF running back is Greg McRae, 123 carries for 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns. Top threat for the Tigers wide receiver wise, Justin Jefferson, 50 catches, 788 yards and 4 touchdowns. Top threat for UCF is Gabriel Davis. He has 50 catches for 756 yards and 6 touchdowns on the night. Of course, UCF coming off a string of wins. They're undefeated, 12-0, 12 straight wins for UCF. The last one was against Memphis. They destroyed them 56-41. And, of course, the Tigers coming off the longest game in college, on the wrong side of the longest game in college history, losing 74-72 in 7 overtimes. This is going to be an interesting game. Tigers got a while before they play. A lot of guys are not going to be here anymore. They're moving on. I got to go with my Tigers in this one. I think the Tigers will get it done. About 56.6% of a lot of people out of 100% are picking LSU to win this matchup. So enough said on that. That's New Year Day. Y'all get your Tigers gear for Fiesta Bowl, LSU football Fiesta Bowl style. Now going on to our next topics before we head out. Tough Tiger Talk. A few things to talk about outside of football. We got LSU's top cornerback, Mr. Greedy Williams. Guess what? Greedy Williams is taking his appetite to the NFL. That's right. Greedy says, you know what? I'm too talented to sit here. I'm headed to the NFL. So Greedy Williams, who is already listed by some of the ESPN scouts and many other scouts, are picking him to be a top first round, maybe. Some people say top 10 cornerback. Some say top 15. Definitely the kid is a first round grade cornerback with the size, speed, and his ability to make things happen. Greedy Williams, y'all, is taking a leave. He's leaving. He's going to head to the NFL with a handful of other really solid NFL cornerbacks that's there. So big ups to Greedy Williams, and good luck for Greedy Williams as he plays his last game for the Tigers up against this UCF team. So very interesting. Hope he falls to the Saints in that first round. Well, the Saints don't have a first round pick. They got a second round pick. I doubt he'll be that. Only way the Saints could even get hopeful to grab that guy is if they make a trade to get up to him. So if y'all hoping Grady Williams will be a Saint, keep hoping. But like old Jesse used to say, you keep hope alive because you never know. Sean Payton might pull off something here. So big ups to Greedy Williams as he makes his travels to the NFL. So also another really great player to talk about as well is Mr. Delvin White. Delvin White, all-world middle linebacker, really intelligent. A lot of people say that he's better than the linebacker with Atlanta Falcons. I don't know. I think that, one has tremendous speed that you can't match, but I think Delvin White is more of a complete linebacker than the other one. You see what I'm saying? He might not have that speed, but he has everything else. And you know what he has that the other one don't have? He got a Dick Butkus Award. That's right, named for the top linebacker in the country. Delvin White's been named, and this just is fresh off the press, 2018 Butkus Award winner. Big ups to Delvin White as he takes the top linebacker award in college. And you better believe Delvin White is going to be a first-round draft pick. So Greedy Williams and Delvin White, both of those guys are going to be big-time players at the next level. Moving on. LSU, of course, we know LSU's been having quarterback problems lately. Now, of course, you know that we looking at some of the stuff that happened with what happened with Tua's brother when we seen that Coach Orgeron promote to try to pick up Tua's brother. He was seen during the game walking with him. We don't know how far that's getting along, but what we do know for certain is that Coach O landed a 4-star QB recruit by the name of Max Johnson, whose uncle was Mark Ritz, who was the head coach of the Miami Hurricanes. He was able to pull him from his uncle and join LSU. Now, if Johnson is 6'5", he's rated as the 3rd rated pocket passer in the class of 2020, and he's 47 ranked in the recruiting overall. Now, he also had offers from Florida State, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, and a handful of other teams. He committed to LSU, gives LSU 2 quarterbacks in the 2020 class, including 300 recruit T.J. Finley out of Ponchatoula, and the Tigers also have a 300 quarterback in the 2019 class, which is Peter Parrish out of Phoenix City, Alabama. That's a really good one too. So LSU, Coach O not sitting back and not taking any time. Coach O is doing every damn thing he could to keep his job and improve his team. Now, of course, we know 2019 class for the Tigers is supposed to be really the bomb. We're going to see what happened with them, really. But big ups to Coach O as he trying to put together some solid quarterbacks to help his offense, because we know LSU's been recruiting quarterbacks garbage lately. Joe Burrow kind of turned things around. I do like these young quarterbacks they're looking at, because if you have solid quarterback play at that position, we can really go far. So big ups to Coach O on that. Also, other coach news, we're going to talk about Les Miles. Les Miles had Louisiana State reached an agreement, $1.5 million buyout agreement with Coach Les Miles to buy him out of that ridiculous contract that he had. Now that he is gone, he's took the Kansas job. So Coach Les Miles is the new head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks. He came to that agreement. I don't know what he's going to do in Kansas. That's not my business. I'm an LSU dude, but it can't be any worse than what they had, right? But anyway, moving on. Let's talk about Coach O again, which is his extension. Should Coach O get that extension? To me, based upon what Coach O did this year and his team coming up next year, man, you gotta give him a little room here. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give him a couple, a year, maybe a couple years to kind of see what he's working out here, because he has a tremendous 2019 class about to come up in here. I mean, he has a really good class, and I was looking past this team, looking at that team, and the team this year, surprised a lot of people, and they can finish with 10 wins on the year. That's pretty damn good in a Fiesta Bowl win against a top 10 opponent in the Central Florida Knights. So actually, that's a pretty damn place. If you think about the crappy losses to Florida and Texas A&M, that shouldn't have happened. Alabama, that was going to be close, but we shouldn't have lost to Florida. We shouldn't have lost to Texas A&M the way we did. And quite possibly, if you think about it, if those losses didn't exist and LSU found a way to win both those games, LSU could be very well playing for a national championship. Really, think about that. That's how close we came this year. So looking at next year, 2019, when they roll around, tremendous class coming in here. We're going to lose some key pieces off this team, but the future is very bright if you coach O. Hopefully, the LSU Tigers administrators can understand that, and of course those alumnus, boy, they are vicious. You got to win. You're not going to keep your job very long losing to Alabama the way you did. They come into your building, and when you do get them down here, you got to beat them. They spank you 29-0 in your own building. That don't make the alumni happy, but that'll get you run off real good. But anyway, that's going to do it for the show Tuff Tiger Talk today. Thank y'all for joining us. Sorry about the delay in the broadcast. We're having some computer issues, but we're working through that. But if you enjoy Tuff Tiger Talk and you like what we're doing here, please feel free to go to our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/the PRO Media Network. You can sign up, become a contributor on a daily or one-time basis, depending on you. It's a lot of options over there. You can find the link in the description section below. You can also join our social media page from news and items on football, basketball, boxing, all that kind of wonderful stuff. Only thing you have to do is join our social media family. Those links in the description section below. And also a third way you can help the show is by supporting our sponsors. Those links in the description section. Go there and purchase a product or see about a service that's being offered. That also helps the show as well. So thank you for listening to us, the young, new, and established listeners of Tuff Tiger Talk. I'm Big Q. Thank you for listening. And y'all look ahead for us. We'll be coming back again. We'll be around the New Year's time. We'll have the recap on the Fiesta Bowl between the Tigers and the Central Florida Knights. It's going down in Glendale. Y'all get y'all gear. The product section below. Click on and go get you some good Tiger gear at a discount. And no shipping. You can't beat that. So from me and the crew here at Tuff Tiger Talk, thank you for listening. Peace.
You're now listening to Tuff Tiger Talk with Big Q and the guys on the Pro Media Network.
Hello, Tiger fanatics. Are you ready for some football? If so, you need to head over to Fanatics. Click the link in the description section below and head over to get great deals on all LSU Tiger gear right now. Fanatics have all the great selection on everything Tigers. They have ladies and men's and children jerseys, footwear, t-shirts and dresses, golf and sports equipment, hats, pajamas and underwear, lawn and office gear, auto accessories, pet accessories, and much, much more. So if you're a Tiger and you want to show your Tiger spirit, click the link below and head over to Fanatics now to get all the top-notch LSU Tiger gear. And for 24 hours only, shipping will be free on all orders over just $29. Head over now and click the link in the description section below and be ready in style. Go Tigers. Go to newfrog.com for all of your electronic gadget needs. Fast becoming #1 online seller of cell phone and accessories, consumer electronics, automobiles and motorcycles, home and garden items, 5D diamond painting crafts, electrical and tool supplies, computer and networking supplies, lights and lighting supplies, sports and travel items, toys and hobby supplies, apparel and accessory, mother and kid items, health and beauty items, and much, much more. Newfrog.com has up to 70% off on some products. And you can check out their weekly promotions for all the best deals. Remember, when thinking online electronics and gadgets, think New Frog, newfrog.com. Check the link in the description section below. Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000, celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registers and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.